What do you want from your business? This is a deep question. Like, what do you want? Do you want time freedom? Do you want to go and make a big impact? Do you want to make a lot of cash flow and build some wealth? Do you want to ultimately grow and just like take over your market? Whatever your goals are, it comes back to one central thing. This is our superpower and our secret weapon here at 2X. And now I'm going to just in a second, I'm going to share it with you. And that superpower and secret weapon is great systems and operations. With the proper systems and operations, we have consistency, we have cash flow, we have the team running the show, we've got the time freedom to focus on the right levers. And then growth becomes easy if we have this in place. But if you feel like you're just muscling things and trying, but you're not growing, it comes back to great systems and operations. You've seen maybe some of our success stories, how people have 2X, 4X, 6X, 8X, 9X with us, and we only work with multi-6 and 7-figure online businesses. These are big businesses that are growing fast. How? By great systems and operations. So for the first time ever, we broke it all down for you. I'm going to give you access to this for free. It's this systems masterclass that we put together here at 2X to show you what matters, what to focus on to turn your business into a systemized machine so that you can get free from the weeds and go on a darn vacation that you have deserved, to get your team running the show, to start to drive more cash flow and consistency and ultimately much faster growth. This is our secret weapon, and now it's yours as well. Click the and I am excited that you are here because we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects of all, and that is systems. And specifically, we're going to talk about how the top 1% of business owners leverage systems to scale better, to scale faster, to scale with more control and consistency, and most importantly, do so while you're completely free from the day-to-day grind. So I'm going to go through these slides very, very fast. We're going to jump right into it. So get out your pen, get out your paper, and let's get started. So let's first imagine your business from a 30,000 foot view. Let's say that you've got marketing, you've got sales, and you've got fulfillment. All right. From a high level, this is what we want to see. Now imagine your business if we've got the proper systems in place, that you've got consistency, you've got control, you've got the ability to scale your marketing to get consistent high quality leads day in and day out. Imagine that you also have the proper systems in place for your sales. So you know your numbers, you've got the proper consistency there, you know exactly what to expect, you've got the ability to scale and duplicate your sales department. And imagine that you also have the proper systems in place for your fulfillment, where you've got a great consistent client experience, turning them from customer into a raving fan that is ultimately sending more people your way, becoming a lifelong customer and increasing LTV. Imagine if you do all these things where you are free from the day-to-day grind. That's what's possible. This is what we want to do, is to leverage systems to get you pulled out of being pulled in 100 different directions, get you out of working in the business. Maybe this is your org chart, whether you know it or not, being pulled in so many different directions where your business is built around you. I've been there. I've done that. But we want to make the transformation. And today I'm going to show you how to do that, to stop working in the business, to start working on it, and to be a true CEO where you are driving growth, where you are free from the weeds. And if you do this, then you're not only going to get a lot more free time, you're going to be able to drive some incredible growth. Here are just a few of the many success stories that I'm going to spotlight to show you exactly what they've done over the next 30 to 35 minutes to really break down how to get free and grow in our one-on-one coaching programs. While still in our coaching programs, in just 3 years, clients have generated well over $211 million and counting. This is let alone what happens after they leave our coaching programs. So we've got some amazing success stories here. We've got my man Ryan Rockwell, who scaled from low six figures to multiple millions. Same thing with Elizabeth Benton here, from low six figures to multiple millions. We've got Abby Ashley, who got free from the weeds and added over 7 figures in revenue. Patrick Quinn here, who didn't have his number one revenue source, but still generated over $2 million in the first 12 months working with us. He's headed on the fast track to $10 million and counting. And we've got my man John Murphy as well that we're going to break down. So again, this stuff works. We do this day in and day out with ambitious 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs across the globe to help you scale, to help you get more time and more time freedom, to help you generate bigger profits and more cash flow, and ultimately drive faster, more consistent and controllable growth. And our secret weapon is exactly what I'm going to share with you today, but it hasn't always been that way. When I was starting out, my first couple businesses, I was working 80 plus hours a week, doing everything, pulled in 100 different directions. I was stressed out
out and burnt out beyond belief. I was stuck at multiple six figures, and it felt like I just hit this ceiling, and I was just stuck. And I was like, you know what? There's got to be another level of success. There's got to be, I see people around me having these big success stories, but I couldn't break free. In fact, I was so burnt out, stressed out, exhausted that I started having anxiety attacks. I would fall asleep, and as soon as I would fall asleep, I would gasp up in bed for breath, having an anxiety attack that I had to call 911, not once, but twice, where I finally said, you know what? There has to be a better, simpler way to be successful as an entrepreneur. There has to be a better, simpler way. All right. And that's what I'm going to show you today. Because since this time, I went on this journey to figure out what is that way? What are the tools? How are these people around me making it seemingly look easy? And I'm going to share that exactly with you here in the next 35 minutes. So I'm going to break down and teach you how to make things easier on yourself and get your life back. I'm going to show you how to get more traction and growth. I'm going to show you how to get free from the weeds and have your team running the show so that you're set up for success working as a true CEO driving growth. Because the fact of the matter is something that I've learned well after that time calling 911 for the second time where I hit rock bottom. I learned that, you know what? You can, in fact, have it all. And that's what we help entrepreneurs across the world do. Like John Murphy, who came in working 100-hour work weeks in just a couple months. He went down to 30 hours a week working in his business, and he went from $67,000 per month up to over $503,000 per month. He said, when I joined 2X, the goal of 2Xing was audacious to me. Well, he 7X'd his business and is now on the fast track to $10 million as well. We've got Abby Ashley, who just like me had to go to the hospital because of anxiety attacks. She went from $1 million in revenue in her business pre-2X to over $2.2 million, and her quote's even better. She said, we doubled from 1 to 2 million while I'm removed from the business. She was 99% removed. And she said, we're on the pace to double again without me. Again, I'm going to show you how. So if you want more time freedom, if you want more growth, if you want more consistency, if you want more out of your team, you are in the right spot, because we are going to break this all down. So we're going to break down why our clients are so successful. What did they know? And what did they do that 99% of entrepreneurs don't? Well, if you stay with me here, if you start to apply these principles, if you take away even one or two big ideas from this, this is going to forever change the way that you do business. I would have killed for this starting out, and now I'm sharing it with you. All right. So the thing is, it's not about tactics. It's not about hacks. It's not about the latest marketing strategy. It's about the fundamental principles of what really matter in business. And that secret is smart leverage. All right, this is a fancy term, but let's break it down into two of my favorite terms. Very simple words here that we're moving to. Favorite two forms of smart leverage are systems and team. Your systems help set up your team for success, and your team runs the system. So it's the question of the chicken or the egg. But imagine your business with the proper systems and team for marketing, where you've got the consistency, the control, the scalability there, and you're free from the day-to-day. Imagine you're getting high quality leads every single day. That's what your systems and team should be able to do. Next is with the proper systems and team. Imagine that you have these in your sales department. So you've got consistency, you've got control, you've got the ability to execute in a high way in your sales department, and you're free from the day-to-day. And imagine the same thing for fulfillment, and you are truly working on the business. What would be possible then? What would be possible for your growth, for your life, for your income, for your impact? This is what we've got to do. Get you free from the weeds, start working on the business. So of these two forms, systems and team, like I said, it's a chicken or the egg thing. Because you need the team to help create the systems, yada, yada. But where does it begin? Well, in our terms here at 2X, it begins with the systems. So that's what we're highlighting here today, is how to leverage systems to set your team up for success, to start drive more consistency, and ultimately, again, much faster growth. And the cool thing is, you're already doing so much of the work. We just have to put some intentionality behind it to turn these things that you're doing into great systems and get them off your plate and get them into your team operating them in day-to-day fashion. All right, so that's what we're going to focus on. But systems done right will help you get 50 to 200% more out of the team that you've got now. We don't want to go and start spending a lot more money. A lot of people will have you come into their program or buy their course and then start spending a lot more money. No, we want to work with what you've got. We're going to help you get a lot more out of that. Next is we're going to free up 10 to 25 hours per week. Next is systems are going to help you have less fires and less reactivity. You're going to have more consistency everywhere. We talked a little bit about the three stages. You're going to have more consistency in each one. Next is you're going to have increased margins and cash flow and better client experience. Again, this is our secret weapon, and they can be yours as well if you do it right. So today, I'm going to run through this 3 key shifts. This is what the best and fastest growing companies know and implement to leverage systems to scale better, faster, and easier. All right, so get out your pen and paper. Let's break this down one by one, step by step. All right.
The first is so important. It is that the order of attack is crucial. The order of attack is game changing. I'm talking about if you're looking at growing your company to the next level, the order of attack is so important. I'm talking about where to start with systems. The order of attack is so important. The thing is, most people are working hard, but they're not getting ahead because they're not strategic. They've got all the talent in the world, but they're just too busy in the day-to-day trying to survive and scrap and win and get ahead for this week, this month, that they aren't being super strategic. And this is one of the most important fundamental things that I see in the entire entrepreneurship world. So the vast majority of business owners are working out of order. So some examples are they're trying to scale marketing before having a differentiated brand and positioning, or they're hiring different marketing agencies before they really have this differentiation good set up from a foundational standpoint first. Or you're trying to maybe build your team and hoping that they're a unicorn and that they work out and produce amazing results before you set them up with the right strategy, or before we have the right strategic model that's set up to scale, or before we give them the right systems. Or maybe you're working on sales tactics before you have an irresistible offer. Whereas we come in, we're going to help create a very irresistible offer that alone will help increase your sales conversions exponentially. And then we're going to work on sales tactics and strategies and follow up and right? There's a very important order to things. Next is you're trying to delegate before you even have the right strategy or model, or you're just trying to delegate things without any systems in place. Again, there's a very strategic order. If you don't go after this, if you don't know this, then the result is the hamster wheel. Again, you're working hard and you're like, wait a minute, why am I not getting ahead? Wait a minute. Why am I in a similar spot to where I was 6 months ago? Wait a minute. Why is cash flow always a concern? Wait a minute. Why is my team just like not good enough? No, it's not on them. All right. We've got to take responsibility as CEO and start to lead things in a strategic direction. And that strategic direction is something that we've mastered to a science. All right. These are the 9 elements of what we call the 2X formula. And I'm not going to go through this in too much detail here today. But the thing is, the order that we attack things with this is absolutely game changing. And we've got to approach things in, again, the proper order. But I wish I could tell you here today, hey, you're just one funnel away. I wish I could tell you, hey, there's this one Facebook ad strategy that will change your life forever. But no, business is a big thing. It's this complex, hairy thing. We have to take a holistic view of your business. All right. So stop listening to the marketing gurus that tell you that you're just one small tactic away. You're not. Like, we got to take a strategic view at this. And if we do take a holistic view and a holistic approach, then we're going to start to build this asset, this machine that's working for you, not the other way around. Otherwise, we're just going to give you more stuff to do, right? That's what most gurus out there, they're just giving you more stuff to do. We have to take a strategic approach. So to simplify this down, let's take that formula and let's take the 9 elements and let's just simplify this down. There's 3 major phases. All right, let me take a drink here. So phase number 1 is we've got to really, really nail and have an elite foundation. And you're like, Austin, I'm already making $500K a year. I'm already making $1 million a year. Like, I'm good. Give me the marketing strategies and I'm good. No, every single time, 100% of the time that we've worked with clients, we have gone in and helped improve their foundation. The foundation is getting really, really clear on your vision and what you want to achieve. It's really, really nailing, most importantly, the strategy and model to make sure that it's set up to scale, to make sure that it's set up to achieve that vision that you have in the simplest and most direct path. We've got to really look at your positioning. We've got to look at your offers. We've got to look at your differentiation. We've got to look at, hey, how do we create you into be a market of one? If we really nail the foundation, everything else changes. Everything else becomes much simpler. We cut things out that don't matter. We get really clear on what does matter. We start to focus on that and we drive some big growth. So we've got to start with the elite foundation. Then number two, this is your money maker. This is when we start to build an operational machine with your team running the show. So when we get you free from the weeds, we've got the consistency for every step of your business, and then we can start to drive exponential growth. And most people are trying to go straight towards growth, but no, there's an order to things. It's really important to attack this because you've got limited time, you've got limited resources, you've got limited energy, and you want to start getting some more traction. So how do we do that? By working on the right things in the right order. So we can quickly work you through and take your again, if you're a multi-6 or 7-figure business owner, we can clean up and really optimize your foundation. But where most people get stuck is in building an operational machine with the team running the show. This is your moneymaker. This is what we're going to focus on primarily today. And let me share you a quick little example of Ryan Rockwell. Ryan is a beast. He came in, though, and he was at low 6 figures. He's at $31,000 per month on average. And he was stressed out. He said, I was exhausted coming into 2X, but I knew I had the potential. I could see it in my eyes. He said, I knew I had a mission. And I talked with Ryan, and I was like, dude, you should be doing at least $1 million per year right now. And again, he was at $31,000 per month at the time. And it was because he was grinding hard and he was really talented, but he was listening to all the marketing gurus out there. He was working out of order and he wasn't getting ahead. He kept trying things, but his foundation was broke. He definitely didn't have anything close to an operational machine. He came in, we started to clean things up. He quickly more than doubled his business. And then a few months later, he then unlocked some huge growth and got to the exponential growth standpoint to where he 9x'd his business and he was free from the day-to-day. Traveling around, has a girl of his dreams, like all these cool things all come from all of a sudden taking that talent, taking his effort. In fact, he started to work less, but he starts to get more traction by taking a strategic approach. So stop trying to force things. Stop trying to do the same. Like insanity is doing the same thing, but ending up in the same spot. Like that's what entrepreneurs are doing. So most entrepreneurs are doing. So stop repeating what doesn't work and stop listening to the marketing gurus, all right? You're not one tactic away. We've got to take a holistic approach and we've got to take a strategic order to your business. So start working smarter. Follow the strategic order, build a machine. I know it's not as sexy as, hey, here's this latest bot strategy. Here's this latest Facebook thing that you can do to build a machine and build systems and build your team. But if you want to like seriously get ahead, like if you are serious about that, like, and you're in the right spot because I'm going to show you how to build a machine. So that's shift number one is we got to take a strategic approach. Shift number two is you have to realize at all times that time is the constraint. Time is what we've got to solve for. Time is the thing that's holding you back. Because again, there's no entrepreneur that I've ever talked to that's above $250,000 in revenue that shouldn't be doing a lot more in revenue than they currently are. All right, so you've got the talent. We can easily teach you the strategies. We can easily help you get to the next, but we've got to solve time because the fact is you cannot scale if you're stuck in the weeds. You cannot scale if you are stuck in the weeds. All right, so let me ask you, are you stuck in the weeds? Well, I can give you all the strategies in the world, but that's not going to help because it's just going to give you more stuff to do, stress you out even more, and you're not going to get ahead consistently. So we've got to get you free. Because on the other hand, with the proper time, if I do get you free from the weeds, and I give you on a silver platter, I just say, hey, here is 20 hours per week. You can achieve anything then. I can easily give you the strategies to do, or you already got in your mind different things that you could do that would help grow your business or things that you've been wanting to work on for 6 months, you know? So with the proper time, you can achieve anything. So we need to leverage systems to get you free through automation, through delegation, through your team. But before we do any of this stuff with systems, the first step that we do when we come into a 6 or 7 figure business, the first step that we come into is we understand all the pieces and what's going on. We understand your vision and exactly what you want to create, what kind of life and lifestyle that you want to live. Like what's that end picture look like here in a couple years? And then we're going to go and design things to get there as easily and quickly as possible. All right. And the first step that we do is to cut stuff out. We've got to simplify. We've got to make your life easier. There is a lot of things that you are doing and working on that don't matter at all. There's a lot of things that you are doing and working on that aren't driving much of any results. And it's scary to do. I get it. It's scary to stop that social media strategy, or it's scary to not do Facebook ads for a minute. It's scary to do these different things, but I'm telling you, if it's not working, then we're going to simplify. And we're going to come in, and what we're looking for is how can we cut out anything that's not, how can we cut out 20 to 40%? Sometimes it's of your different offerings. Sometimes it's of your marketing strategies. Sometimes it's of, where your time and energy, like we want to understand, hey, how can we simplify? How can we create capacity first? Because time is the constraint. All right. Now let's get into, after we simplify, which we've already, hopefully freed up some good amount of hours there. These are the first 5 time systems. I want you to write these down. All right. Number 1 is we've got to systemize and delegate all admin. Like everything admin, 100%, no questions asked. Let's systemize and delegate that ASAP. That's going to free up a lot of time. Number 2 is we've got to take control of your calendar. And we love productivity from the standpoint of setting you up to get the right things done. So we've got to take control of your calendar, not be reactive, implement a couple productivity strategies, and have you just be back in control of your time and be less reactive. And related to that, as part of your calendar, is the meeting cadence. And the reason why this is so important is we've got to have the proper meeting cadence in place so that your team is trained to bring any questions, problems, or opportunities to those meetings. Otherwise, they're just pinging you in the morning, they're pinging you, late afternoon, or maybe you've got a team that's virtual all over the world and you've got different things happening at different times. No, we need to set the cadence so that things can get in flow. We need to set the cadence so that everybody can come to these central meetings and get clarity and get aligned and get on the same page and do so without any reactivity. I come into so many businesses, they don't have a proper meeting cadence and they're just running around in all these different directions. They're getting pulled in all these different directions and they're like, man, I can't get anything done because all these fires come up, or my team's needing this and that and the other. Because you haven't put in the proper cadence where you can get in flow and know that, hey, yes, I've got this problem, but I'm going to wait 2 hours and bring it to the daily huddle. Or, hey, I need to get clear on what my priorities are. Well, we should have had a good weekly meeting or whatever it is. So we have what we call the 10% meeting cadence to help get teams just super, super aligned and stop the reactivity. Next is we've got to focus on marketing and lead generation systems. And the reason why we're focusing on this first, or pretty quickly here, is because we just want to take what's working right now, what's driving leads, and make sure that we systemize that so those leads don't stop. Because what I see so oftentimes is people will start to implement something like systems or better operations or working with their team, and they'll take their eye off of marketing and lead gen, and they don't feel it instantaneously like that day. But then within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, they're like, wait a minute, I don't have any leads. Oh my God. And then they go back into reactive mode where they go then jump into marketing. And that's exactly the hamster wheel that we want to get off. So we want to systemize your marketing lead gen so that you've got that consistency coming in so that then we can focus on the other things in your business. And one of the other things is productizing fulfillment and getting you free from the weeds there. But this is the order matters here, but the two that are going to free up just a ton of time are all the admin stuff that's going to make a big impact, and then productizing fulfillment and getting you free. So let's break down your business from a high level and talk about why this matters so much. So let's say that we've got 3 simple steps. All right, we've got marketing, we've got sales, and we've got fulfillment. From a high level, this is your business. All right, no matter what you're selling, you've got marketing to generate leads, you've got sales to close those leads, and you've got fulfillment to produce and deliver on what you sold. All right, this is your business from a high level. What we've got to do is get you free from all of these 3, starting with fulfillment. And fulfillment drives growth. If you do it right, where you systemize and strategically build your fulfillment, you are free from the day-to-day there. Your clients are much, much happier. They're getting much better results and making sales much easier because we've got more case studies and happy clients and testimonials. You're making marketing much easier because of the same thing. You're making raving fans that stay with you longer, buy more of your stuff. You've got people that are driving referrals, which is one of the single best ways that you're probably getting business right now, let alone with amazing fulfillment and the systems in place to drive those. So system drives growth. All right, this is very, very important. Most people are just focused over here on marketing. No, we've got to really go in a strategic order, which is, again, oftentimes opposite of what maybe you've been taught in the past or what you've been doing in the past. All right, so we've got to get you free from fulfillment. So let me talk about John Murphy, who I mentioned earlier. All right, so John came in at 100 hours per week. 100 hours per week is what he was working. Talk about zero lifestyle. Talk about stress, right? Talk about overwhelm. Holy cow, he was at 100 hours a week, and he came to us exhausted. And he was at $67,000 per month. He said, hey, I know y'all are systems people. I know y'all are the team people. I know y'all can help me grow and do so strategically. I need some help. And we were like, yes, you do. And within a few months, this is the same guy that said the goal of 2Xing was audacious to him. Within a few months, he went from 100 hours per week to just 30. Why and how? Because we got free from fulfillment. We really taught him and helped him implement the systems and strategies to say, you know what? Time is the constraint. We've got to get you free so that we can grow. And we quickly did this, and boom, he started to take off. Within 4 months, he went from $67,000 per month to over $256,000 per month. 2 months later, he continued this great growth to over $503,000 per month. This is within 6 months, and he was staying at that time free from the day-to-day. All right, so if you can get free from the day-to-day, if you can productize and really dial in fulfillment, we're going to be able to work on the business and give you a couple growth strategies that you're going to be able to then grow exponentially. Again, the order matters so much, and your time is the constraint. So we've got to systemize and delegate to get free. As soon as you do, anything becomes possible. Your wildest dreams, we can blow past those. Again, John said 2Xing was audacious. Well, he quickly, within 6 months, 7.5x his business, has made multiple millions of dollars, is now going for much bigger numbers, and he ultimately has multiple businesses that he's going to be building here in the next couple years. Like huge stuff by understanding this. All right, that was shift number 2. Shift number 3 is then we've got to make it a culture thing. We've got to make this fully implementable into the day-to-day, because you may say, hey, I know I need systems, or I tried to build systems in the past, but my team just doesn't get it. Or how can I get them to be as good as me? Or how can I get them to make sure that they use them? Or how can I get the blah, 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 blah. We've got all these different stories because we don't know how to implement this in the proper way, but we blame it on our team. But no, it's our opportunity. It's our lead as CEO to take control and guide people to success. And we've got to make it a culture thing. Because here's the reality. You and your team are already doing most of the work. You're already probably pretty good at what you do. Like, you're not going to get to, multiple 6 figures or 7 figures if you don't have any talent, right? So you're probably already good. Now we just need to be strategic about it and systemize things and create a culture of systems. We have to create a culture of systems so that everyone creates systems, so that it's not just on you. Because you're like, Austin, I don't have time to create systems. Blah, 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 blah. That's fine. You've got team members that you're working with. Have them create systems, all right? We've got to make sure that we've got the culture systems so that everyone uses them. Like, if you don't use the system, like, that's not good, because systems are going to support you. We've got to make sure that as problems come up, that we solve them with a system. And we've got to make it so that they become essential, because it supports everyone. It makes, for instance, sales much better and much happier if they've got consistent leads and they know exactly what process clients have been through. But if it's all over, if it's random, if people come from so many different things and they have so many different experiences, and it's kind of it's hard to really master sales. Same thing for fulfillment. Same thing for different issues across the board. If we hand it off for one task from one person to another, we've got to have the consistency in place. So systems are going to change your life forever. They're also going to change your team's life forever. All right. And we've got to get them adopted into this. And if we do, this is how we build a fast growing machine while you're completely removed from the day-to-day grind. This is what I keep coming back to, is we've got to make sure that we're building things strategically so that you are free from marketing, that you're free from sales, that you're free from fulfillment. Now, you can still go in and work your magic in whatever area you want. Or you can be free to go and attack the biggest bottleneck, because at any given time, there's going to be a bottleneck and opportunity that you can work on. And you're only as good as your weakest link, right? You're only as good as your weakest link. So we've got to nail these one by one. And we've got to have the systems and team in place so that when we get to a certain level, that's the new baseline. It's not this up and down inconsistency thing where you have to come in and be a superhero. No, we've got to build things strategically and make it a culture thing. Make it a whole part of your team. So we've got to train your team. Let's start with the definition of what a system is. We define a system as a tool for solving a task in a strategic, repeatable, and efficient way. It's a tool to help make your life easier and better and get better results. All right. So I'll break this down with different examples here in a second. We've got to train your team that everything that you do is assisting. Hiring people, firing people, paying people, getting paid, doing marketing, running Facebook ads, setting up a blog post, responding to customer support thing. Everything can be broken down into a system. Literally everything that you do is a system. Every problem that comes up, and guess what? There are going to be problems. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be some fires. But if we solve every single one of those with the system, guess what? You're going to have less and less and less problems. You're going to have less and less headaches, less and less reactivity, which has an exponential effect or a compound effect to have you start working on the right things, which leads to more growth and more opportunities. And this is this momentum that builds up. So if we solve every problem with a system, and you got to train your team that a good system is one that's simple. We're going to keep things really, really simple. Most people just make these overly complex, these beautiful things that nobody uses. It may look fancy. I don't care about fancy. I want something that's simple and used. That's the sign of a good system. And we've got to train the team on the benefits. How there's going to be less fires. It's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to You've got to praise and reward systems and make it a culture thing. So let's break things down even further, because I haven't even talked specifically much about systems just yet. There are some major different types of systems, all right? And this is a broad word, but again, it's a tool for solving a task in a strategic, repeatable, and efficient way. So it can be a checklist. It can be like step by step, here's exactly what we need to do for a particular thing. Like for instance, if we're setting up a blog post, this is the checklist that we need to follow. We need to do this from an SEO standpoint. We need to have this person check it off, whatever the checklist is of actions. It could be an SOP, a standard operating procedure, where you break down exactly in a full document, here's all the steps of what you need to do. It could be a video process. Like you can use a great tool called Loom, Loom, or Screencast, and there's a bunch of different ones that you can just literally press record and say, hey, here's what I do on this thing, you're talking through it. That can then be taken into a process that somebody can follow, because they can see exactly what you're doing and monitor your screen. It could be a template that you just have an outline that you use over and over and over again. It could be a training. If you're training your team or you put a framework together, well, that is a system. We can have automation, of course. We can have different software applications. We can have dashboards that are numbers and showing us exactly what's going on. Or it could be a combination of these things. Like for instance, our sales system as a whole has about 17 major pieces, everything from the follow-up strategies to the CRM that we use to, again, you're seeing all these different pieces all come together, to the script, yada, yada, to objection handling. Like there's so many different things that can be a full comprehensive system, such as your sales system, or such as your Facebook ad system, or such as your hiring system, all right? But all the things can be broken down into very simple and clear things. So different examples to bring this even home further is like if we have a new client come in, boom, well, one of our virtual assistants triggers something to get something set up that we go through, and we know exactly what we need to do, step by step, person by person. Everything needs to, everybody knows exactly what to do to make for a seamless experience, to set somebody up to be a raving fan within a matter of days. We send them a gift, we do all these different things right away. We've got templates for different, for instance, emails or documents that we use over and over again that are just templated and ready to go to copy and paste. We've got different checklists for everything that we do. Like for instance, we do different in-person mastermind events when it's not, the COVID world, where we have these life-changing, amazing 2-day events to bring all our clients together and to have them connect and learn and grow together. And we do so and put on these amazing life-changing events where I just show up. Like it's all documented exactly what we need to do step by step, or there's an SOP outline that we know exactly what we need to fill in if we're creating a full system. So over time, everything that you do should get systemized with your team running the show. Again, we need to get this one by one. All right. So where do you start? Well, I've talked about some of the order to attack things in so far. I'm going to end by talking about the full process of what to do. An example of this done well, of really implementing this with your team running the show, of making a culture of systems, of having it go beyond you, is Abby Ashley. Abby came in. She was already at $1 million per year in revenue. She's like, hey, things are good. We got this great business. We're ready to scale. And Abby had a similar experience to me, where she was so exhausted and burnt out from muscling her business that she had to go to the hospital because of anxiety attacks. And she was like just flatlined. They were doing launches and they were just flatlined.
And she was like, hey, I need some help. I need some systems. I need some team. I need some proper growth. And she came in, and within her next 12 months, she did over 2.2 million. But the cool thing is, she said, we doubled from 1 to 2 million while I'm removed from the business. And we're on pace to double again without me. She is 99% removed from her business that is going to do multiple millions per year, the same business that used to take so much muscle and grit that sent her to the hospital. The same exact business with her team running the show. She's now focused on a second business venture that is going to be worth many, many, many millions of dollars to her because she's realized what I'm sharing with you here today. So when you get this right, when you take a strategic approach in a strategic order to your growth and to your systems, and you attack these things, again, in a very strategic order, you're going to start to get way more traction. When you start to fix your time and realize time is the constraint, I've got to get free from the weeds, and you get free and you stay free from the weeds and start working on the right activities, and you create a team and culture that thrives and lives on systems, you become unstoppable. This is how you unlock major, massive, fast growth. All right. This is how you get traction once and for all. And one thing that we do here at 2X is we're not in it for the short term. We don't want this spike in this peak, or this spike up and this valley right behind it. We want these numbers to be consistent. So we want people to scale from 1 to 2 million and do so with consistency that they then go to 4 million, right? We want people to go from $31,000 per month to 63 up to 287, or 67 to 256 to 500. We want to grow consistently. And to do so, we've got to build the machine behind it. There's a proven process to follow, and that's what we do at 2X. Our mission here is to double the number of businesses that scale from 6 to 7 figures, as well as from 7 to 8 figures. So again, if you are a multi-6 or 7-figure business owner, we can help you get there. We've done it over and over and over again with amazing entrepreneurs throughout the globe to help them get free and grow, to help them make a bigger impact, to help them unleash their full potential and do so in the proper way. It's time to get more out of your effort. It's time to ultimately scale your business to new heights. 2x.co/schedule. And as we wrap up here, I want to share one final story with you. And this is my man, Pat Bennett, and his beautiful young daughters. He's got 4 young daughters. And this is a picture. He was living in Australia, and he joined our 2X Accelerator. And he was doing well. He was at $66,000 per month in his business. And in 90 days, he scaled up to over $125,000 per month. So that was awesome. That was exciting. But here's the thing. Pat did much more than exponentially grow his business. He did the most important thing, which is he got his life back. He said, I got my life back thanks to the 2X Accelerator. He was sharing, we do a 90-day recap call to end the program, and we were looking back at all that he achieved and everything, and he said, guys, like I feel like I want to run down the street with my hands in the air just yelling, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Yes, we helped him exponentially grow his revenue. Yes, he started making more money than ever. But most importantly, he got his life back. He got his freedom back. He was able to go and pick up his daughters from school at 3 o'clock and go ride bikes with them and not worry about things, not worry about the fires, not have all this reactivity. Get his team starting to run the show. That is the sign of a really good business. Yes, we're going to help you grow. But if you are stuck in the weeds, if you want more freedom, if you want more impact, if you feel like there's this another level of growth, we got to go back to why you started in business to begin with. It's probably to create an amazing life for your family. It's probably to have an amazing lifestyle for yourself. It's probably to make some good money. It's probably to go and make a big impact. It's probably to have some fun again. That's what we can help you do.